7-8 Fight News here with the brother Blood Boxing. What up, Blood?
What's up, bro?
Shit, man. We're gonna build on this pound for pound. You know, I got up this morning and all over the internet, that's all articles, boxing writers, you know, they be watching all our YouTube videos. Because these motherfuckers, all they talking about now is pound for pound. Who's pound for pound? So,
right.
Alright, so yeah, I want to redo my pound for pound list and think about, you know, where I want to put people and all of that. So the way I did it is, I have at the number one spot. Now, number one, you can have, you know, it's only one of two people that I will even consider. But number one, Andre Ward. Number two, Floyd Mayweather. Number three, I have Timothy Bradley. That's kind of controversial. Then I have number four, Sergio Martinez. Number five, Juan Manuel Marquez. Number six, Manny Pacquiao. Number seven, Nonito Donaire. 8 and 9 are Klitschko brothers, whichever one you want to put them. And then I have Miguel Cotto at number 10. Now, I got Miguel Cotto there because of his resume and the level of competition he fights every time he goes out there. Now, you know, people say, well, he lost to Pacquiao, he lost to Margarito, he lost to Mayweather, but you know, it's a suspicion with Pacquiao and Margarito. And even if it wasn't a suspicion, I'm not mad at him because he's fought everybody. That's what happens when you fight everybody. When you fight everybody, you might take a loss, you know. So what?
Exactly.
And so, you know, I'm not going to... And look at what he's doing now. Coming off a loss with Mayweather, he's not fighting some bum. He's fighting Austin Trout, another undefeated fighter, for his title. You know, this is what I'm saying about Miguel Cotto. His resume is better than a lot of these guys who undefeated. So...
Yeah, he started stacking his resume at a very young age, and that's why around the time when people had originally wanted Floyd Mayweather to fight him, it would have been more convenient at that time for Mayweather to fight him. Mayweather was supposed to be the first one to defeat Cotto.
Right.
Mayweather, to me, was supposed to be the one to expose Margarito, to expose Paul Williams. You know, that's why I have to give the power of the resume. I have to consider that. I have to consider the power of the resume.
Right.
There's a lot of things that Cotto did. He took on a lot of tough challenges during that time period. And then there was the thing with Margarito with the raps, where we're pretty sure that he probably loaded his gloves against Miguel Cotto, which not only did that do physical damage, that done some psychological damage too.
Right.
So, in my opinion, by the time Manny Pacquiao fought Miguel Cotto, who had been through quite a bit of wars and had been drained, I didn't feel that that was fair. I have to agree with you. Miguel Cotto, I believe he deserves to be mentioned as a pound-for-pound fighter. I
agree, man. I think, you know, definitely Miguel Cotto, and I'm thinking that, you know, some fighters, you know, like Nonito Donaire, you know, so I had to really rethink him on my list because, you know, I think he's a good fighter. I talk shit about him, but I think he's a good fighter, and I also think that he's overrated at the same time. You know, I think he's overrated because there's a lot of unfinished business that guys he's not fighting for whatever reason. You know, I don't know if Bob Arum is protecting him or what, but it's certain people he's not fighting. He needs to get that shit, you know, taken care of. Same thing with Sergio Martinez. People keep saying that Sergio Martinez is looking for, you know, a big payday fight and all that stuff. That's cool, but I mean, he got guys like, what's that guy named Golovkin, who just fought a couple weeks ago. He hasn't fought that dude. He hasn't fought who's the other guy? Felix Strum.
The guy in Germany.
Yeah, he needs to fight him. There's a couple other guys, you know, some European dudes that Sergio Martinez could be fighting to clean up the weight division. And all these guys got titles. Sergio, you know, he's looked at as the lineal champion, but he has, you know, of course, get past Chavez Jr. And he needs to clean up his division. You know, for me to really consider him top of the line, pound for pound type of dude. You know, and like you said, you can make the same argument with Floyd Mayweather because, you know, Floyd, we all know 16 years of dominance, undefeated. Everybody know that. We all know Floyd's story. But if he's gonna continue to fight, then I mean you got to fight some. You have to fight some top quality guys. Not saying he hasn't been fighting them guys, but if you're gonna be fighting. If I don't know if you're gonna stay at 154, if you're gonna go back to 147 or whatever. But if you're gonna stay at 154, then we gotta see a Canelo Alvarez fight eventually. We're gonna have to see a, maybe a winner of the. If Austin Trout is victorious over Miguel Cotto, maybe that fight. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. Look, this is how I do pound for pound now. At this point, my pound for pound number one fighter is Andre Ward.
Right.
Anyone after Andre Ward, I'm not really going to put a number behind him. I'm just going to say that Ward is my top pound-for-pound fighter because, to me, you have to establish yourself as the king of your division. Like, every division needs to have some kind of tournament or something that stands out to let us determine that this guy's actually really the best in that division.
Right.
The only way we could determine if Floyd Mayweather is the best welterweight, this is the kind of shit he would have did. He would have beat, by now, for him to be the best and to be this guy that a lot of these fans claim him to be. Like, some guy left a comment on one of my videos that said Floyd beat 16 world champions. How could he, not be the best pound for pound? Well, 16 world champions, but under what standards? Like, let's consider sanctioning bodies. We all know how fucked up that whole picture is.
Right.
So when you're saying something to me like 16 world champions, it makes me believe that you got that off of ESPN or BoxRec because you're not mentioning what that entails. You know what I'm saying? So to me, for him to have been this guy that everyone claims him to be, he would have beat Margarito. He would have beat Cotto back in the day. He would have had names on his record like a few Bertos, some Kell Brooks, some Randall Baileys, Jones, Alexander.
Right.
He would have fought guys like this so that we could assess his skill set against different competition. Because when I'm looking at him do his shoulder roll against guys like Victor Ortiz and Baldomir, these are not athletes like a Dawson. You know what I'm saying? They're not on that level.
Right.
So if he had beaten, some Bertos and some Alexanders and things like that, then that would be different.
Right.
But Mayweather didn't do none of that. He cherry picked, in my opinion, and so did Pacquiao. They cherry picked and they were placed in a certain fight to where they would look good. None of them never established themselves as the king of the welterweight division. They've both been in the welterweight division now for years as the two top guys,
right,
back and forth for years. And you mean to tell me that these two guys can't fight each other? Not only did they avoid fighting each other, but they avoid fighting, a lot of up-and-coming fighters. Kell Brook, Jones, all of these guys, Berto, he should have been in the mix. A lot of these guys should have fought each other. And when Pacquiao finally did fight one of the guys, Bradley, who was not really in the mix for a long time, he lost. Right. Regardless on if you think he won or if he lost, it was debatable, and he lost.
That's right.
So that just shows you right there, styles make fights. And Mayweather nor Pacquiao put their legacies on the line enough for me. So to me, they're media hyped. Yeah. So at this point, I don't rank them in no specific number in pound for pound. The guys I would consider as pound for pound fighters are like, I would consider the Klitschko's, I would consider Bradley, Pacquiao, Mayweather, Marquez, Paul Froch, Alvarez, Martinez, Dawson. People want to throw Dawson away. It's just that Ward is just a badass.
Right.
One of the top pound for pound. These are the kind of guys I would consider as guys that could be pound for pound fighters. But to put a number by them when they have not established themselves as a man in the division, there's no way I could do that at this time.
Yeah, that's true. It's one thing you can say about Andre Ward is the undisputed undisputed champion in his weight division. Like, when undisputed means there's no doubt, there's nobody who can dispute this. There's nobody else holding some belt to my, oh, well, I'm the champion too. No. Andre Ward is the best. Everybody knows that at 168. So now, I don't think there's, you can't do that at welterweight. You can't say who's the undisputed champion at junior middleweight. Can't do it. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't do it at middleweight. So, you know, the whole situation with these fighters, man, it's all about money now. You know, who could bring in the most money for you. And I can understand guys trying to get money, but if you really care about your fucking legacy, then you're gonna have to face, you know, some challenges. If you're gonna, you know, you're gonna have to face some challenges. You're gonna have to challenge yourself, and that's why I rank Miguel Cotto so high, because he continues to challenge himself. Win or lose, he's challenging himself, and I respect that in a fighter.
Yes, I do too. And like you said earlier, when you do challenge yourself, you're going to take a loss.
Yeah.
A lot of great fighters could have taken, like, let's just say that Thomas Hearns took the media route of today, and he decided to somehow get out of that fight with Marvin Hagler. Never happened. The fight with Leonard never happened. You know, just say he never fought some of these guys. He never took a C-class fighter, because they say that these guys today think they're too great to fight C-class fighters. But let's say Hearns never fought an Iran Barkley. Right. Let's say that Hearns only just picked and choose fighters that he know he would beat. He would have been undefeated and seen as the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Just because his skills were not put up on that level against a fighter who he matched against wrong. You have to match your style up against several different fighters for us to really know. Mayweather and Pacquiao are not active enough. There's no way in hell, in my opinion, somebody should compare a Mayweather to a Sugar Ray Robinson. Mm-hmm. Look at his resume. It's weak, man. It's weak. And, you know, I'm not trying to take away, but this is just the era that we're fighting, that these guys are fighting in. Right. Okay, so I just get angry when they compare these fighters to the guys of yesterday. I don't like these guys being compared to Armstrong, Ray Robinson. I think in order to be compared, you have to do something similar to what Ward is doing right now. Right. When was the last time we had a fighter that has dominated his division the way Ward is doing it right now? Probably Bernard
Hopkins. Yeah, Bernard Hopkins is the last one I can remember. And you know, that's what when I was talking about Adrian Broner before, about could he possibly be the future of boxing? And I said how I would like to see him go to lightweight and dominate lightweight, get some title defenses, and move up gradually. You know, build his legacy. That's what I would hope to see. But for the guys who keep talking about these titles, or this guy got a title, that guy got, it's the equivalent of, what if Adrian Broner decide, okay, I'm gonna move up in weight. I'm gonna fight Paulie Malignaggi for his trash belt. I'm gonna beat Paulie Malignaggi. Then I'm gonna fight Robert Guerrero, and I'm gonna beat him for his trash belt. Then I'm gonna move up to 154. Like, that's not dominating the welterweight division, because you beat two guys who don't deserve to have a title any fucking way. You know. Yeah, but this is the same. This is the same way a lot of these new fans are measuring the greats today that they're calling greats. Like the guy that left a comment on my page saying that Floyd Mayweather beat 16 world champions. I went back again and I looked at box record again for the 150th time, and I still just can't see the 16 world champions. Even though, yeah, they might say WBA there, that this guy won a WBA at one time, but they do not understand rankings. They just don't. They get this shit off of ESPN and Google, man. There's no way they could have a conversation with me about boxing. When you're making a comment like that, I already know you don't understand. You just don't get where I'm coming from. I understand where they're coming from, but they don't understand where I'm coming from. I think that a lot of people, they just get too, caught up in personal feelings rather than judging, looking at it from objectively. I think that it's easy to understand, man. A lot of people who have titles, we talk about, we complain about this all the time. Look at fucking like I said, the fucking Ghost Guerrero, Robert Guerrero. He got a fucking title now, a WBC welterweight title. This motherfucker. How the fuck do you get a welterweight title shot when you never even fought at welterweight? This is what I'm saying. This is a guy who he doesn't even he didn't beat Floyd Mayweather for the title. So how is he the champion? So if somebody else comes along and beats him, 20 years from now, you'll be saying, "Oh, well, this person beat Robert Guerrero for the title," forgetting the history behind it.
The champion they beat, so he'll be considered. If Adrian Broner is going to be compared, because there will come a day when another fighter is going to be compared to the all-time greats, and if he Guerrero, that would be one of the, like this guy telling me about the 16 belts that the champions that Floyd beat. It would be something similar to that. Like, okay, well, one of the guys he beat was Guerrero, who really was the established. How many established champions have you beat? Like to me, what Ward did is he beat an established champion, a guy who we know for sure was the man in that division.
Right.
Now, how many established champions have these media hype fighters beat? Who are the man who are still in their prime, with no advantages, disadvantages type shit, catch weights and all that. You know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I've always been critical of the media hype fighters when they start saying names like Ray Robinson and Armstrong. And for some reason, that just shit just gets under my skin, man. So I argued that point all day. I argued all day with anyone who's willing.
It's no appreciation for the history of the sport, and that's what the problem I see is a lot of guys who get so romanticized by current fighters, and they have no respect for the history of the sport. It don't have to be boxing; it can be basketball, baseball, football. Same shit goes on. Younger fans don't respect the history of the sport. You know, it's a "what have you done for me lately" type of society we live in. You know what I'm saying? So what Henry Armstrong did in the time he did it it can't be duplicated today. Okay, it's like it will be the equivalent of a fighter holding down the lineal lightweight championship. The lineal, not just some paper, fucking bullshit WBO belt, but the lineal lightweight championship, while holding the lineal welterweight championship, okay, and holding the fucking the featherweight championship lineal. All those lineal championships all at once and defending them.
Yeah, there's no way it could be done. It could never ever be done again. Yep. Too many sanctioning bodies, not enough tournaments. The only division really that things were really established was in the super middleweight division. I think that division is the only division. It's not the only division where there was a tournament, but it's the only division where we know that, Ward was the man. And we had a pretty clear picture at light heavyweight, too, because Bernard Hopkins beat Pascal, who had beat Dawson, and then Dawson turned back around and beat Hopkins. Yeah. And it was, you have the guy, Cloud there, but still, you still pretty have a good idea of what's going on there, whereas in welterweight, you got all kind of motherfuckers from 140 to 149, you know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, you got tons and tons of guys who you would like to see all fight each other, including Pacquiao and Mayweather, which that fight has still not happened yet. And yet these guys are being compared to all-time greats, and they can't even fight each other. And they've managed to avoid all the top young competition in the division now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, I'm just tired of...
I mean, just tell Brooke, why isn't Andre Berto fighting Mayweather next? Why don't Mayweather take on a Berto, or take on a Brooke, or take on an Alexander? Those would be some good people to match up against now to show us that you really are what you say you are. We want to see you against some different styles here, buddy. Some more athletic fighters. We want to see you fight some more athletic fighters, so I can see if you're as quick as all these people who are mesmerized by you when you were beating guys like Arturo Gatti as they say you are. I prefer to see that skill put on the line against somebody who's got a little quicker hand.
Yeah.
But they'll say, well, Berto don't have the defense and this and that. Well, the shit, you would have said that about Barkley if Hearns never decided to give him a shot.
Right.
So, this is how it is. You have to put your shit on the line. You can't go around and say all day, I'm pound for pound, I'm the best ever, or listen to these media guys saying, this is the next Henry Armstrong, and they're not doing nothing to prove it. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing to prove it, though? What are you doing to prove it other than just saying it?
You know,
and then now I got these people still writing me ridiculous letters about Pacquiao's 8 championships, not even understanding sanctioning bodies at all.
Right.
They're still talking about that.
Yeah, no.
Some guy the other day still talking about Pacquiao 18. Many times we shot that down and proved that on video that don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Dissecting records and all kind of stuff. As many times as we did that, there's still people just can't see it, man.
Yeah, and Max Kellerman even talked about it before. I believe that was Max Kellerman who said that Henry Armstrong was, I believe, the only person to do it, beating the lineal champions.
Yeah.
And I believe so. And but it don't mean nothing if you're just moving up in weight classes. You got in each weight class, you got fucking 7 different fucking title, different guys with a title. You can move up and fight one of these bums, and I conquered the featherweight division. You move up and you fight lightweight. Oh, I beat somebody at lightweight, got a championship there. You go to fucking junior welterweight. Oh, I got a championship there. It's like it's bullshit. You ain't like, I don't know, man. I'm just tired of talking about the whole
like
shit.
Alexander, for instance, like not Alexander, Dawson. I'm sorry, Dawson. For instance, what he should have did if he wanted to do like the media high fighters, he would have never fought Ward. He would have looked for like a rematch with Pacquiao, and then maybe a couple of light, soft fights in the light heavyweight division. He could have easily taken that route and fought some less competitive fights. But by him taking that risk now he's been beat. You know what I'm saying? Which I have to give him some credit for even the fighting award, for draining himself pretty much to come down and fight Ward.
Yeah, he asked for it.
If he took the route that some of these other guys, he could easily have said, well, I'm not moving down, or Ward didn't need to come up here, he needs to prove himself, and then start pricing himself out, and that's all the kind of shit that these guys do. When it's time to sign the line, they start pricing themselves out, and complaining about other stuff, and then we never get shit done, and then they still want to go around and say I'm the best. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I think the gist of what we're saying in this whole shit, because it seems like whatever we talk, it don't matter what you say, it's always misunderstood by ignorant motherfuckers. So it's like the gist of what we're saying basically is that if you're the best at whatever weight class you are, if you claim you're the best, then dominate that weight class. That's all we're saying. Dominate that fucking weight class. And it shouldn't really be no argument from real boxing fans. I mean, I don't understand what the argument would be. Andre Ward has dominated his weight class. There's no dispute. He is the undisputed champion. Okay, now, if there's nobody else in any weight class that I can think of offhand that is the undisputed champion.
Nope, none of the other guys have not done that. And now we're even talking about having dinosaurs come out of retirement, like Calzaghe.
Yeah, I heard
all of a sudden is now saying that he could beat Ward.
Man,
what do you think about that, bro? You heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about it a while ago. I think that would be a good fight for Andre Ward to make some money, because Calzaghe will bring in a lot of fans, and Andre Ward will knock his ass the fuck out. That's what he's gonna outwork Calzaghe. But Calzaghe, if you think about it, is really not that old, because it's still fighters fighting this his fucking age. Look at the Klitschko.
Yeah, I think he was. Is he 39 now?
Yeah, something like that. 40. One of them, but the Klitschko's older than that shit. Well, Vitaly is.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah,
so it's like.
And he's done a long way off too, and he pretty much that's what he did to Roy Jones and them.
Right.
That he did. He waited for Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins to get old. So yeah, come on out of retirement. And if he comes out and he can beat Ward, then I will buy the Calzaghe hype.
Yeah, but I still don't think.
To ever live. I will give him that. I'm telling you now. If Calzaghe could come out and beat Ward, I would go with him being the greatest 168 ever.
Yeah, I would too. I would take him out of my greatest bums, and I would definitely, cause he would go from the greatest bum to one of the greatest at 168. Because, but me personally, I don't even think that fight should be. If they do fight, it shouldn't be for a title, because Calzaghe don't deserve it. I think it should be for, just them guys fighting. But each section of the body should you know, maybe it could be for something else. You know, just bragging rights. Just like I don't believe that Hagler versus Leonard. I think Hagler got jobbed in that because I don't think Leonard deserved no title shot at 160 at that time. You know, and
yeah, but you know what? It happens a lot though when the old guy comes back. When the old line comes back to claim his turf.
Right.
The title is on the line because it's just like when Ali came back to fight, you know, Larry Holmes.
Right.
Larry Holmes came back to fight Tyson. Those titles was on the line. When the old cat want to come back to fight the young cat, you got to at least put the strap on the line, I think. So if he's able to come back and he could physically go in there and beat Ward, then he deserves to be champ. You know what I'm saying?
If he could beat him, if he could beat Andre Ward, he does.
He deserves a shot just off his name alone, which I believe personally that Kawasaki was overhyped because I think he fought Hopkins and Jones a little bit too late, and some people still believe Hopkins won that fight, including myself.
Yeah, man, I do too, man, but I don't know, man. Kawasaki, he gonna fuck when I come out of retirement and get knocked out, man. But
yeah, he'd get his ass handed to him because he was knocked down by flash knockdowns plenty of times.
Yeah, Roy Jones knocked him down.
This time he's older and he's going against a younger guy like him. And Ward said that he's going to start taking out fighters from now on.
Right.
That's what he said. So you know, you never know. He might have developed some more power. He's only 28. You know, he still could become more powerful. He might have developed. We might see some knockouts from Andre Ward. He's coming off a damn well impressive knockout over Dawson, an elite fighter.
Right.
Nobody's really doing shit like that either.
Right.
They're getting in here with these fighters and tap dancing with each other and, you know, kissing and hugging and going 12 rounds. This was a real fucking fight right here, man. This was a real fucking throwback fight right here.
Oh, yeah. This
was a tight motherfucking fight, man.
Yeah, I was like, wow, man. I did not expect that shit at all. I did not expect Ward to dominate like that. I thought it would be a very close competitive fight, man, but, you know, I thought it would come down to, you know, 2 or 3 round difference, but god damn, you know, Andre Ward.
I want to know, bro, what do you think about the positive image, man, that they're saying about Ward having this positive image and maybe it won't sell? Because I noticed that he was being interviewed by the same person. There was a guy on YouTube that had interviewed Bronner a couple of days earlier, and Bronner was kind of walking off while the guy was talking to him. But Ward, being as nice as he is, stopped there and talked to the guy through the whole interview. You know, wasn't walking off, was real kind, real respectful. What do you think about the personality thing? Does that work for Ward?
I think if that's who he is, that's what he should continue to do. I don't think he should be forced to act like a dumb nigga if that's not who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know, go ahead and conduct yourself like and represent your parents the way they fucking raised you. You know, if people don't want to see you act like an upright person and be righteous, they want to see you doing dumb shit so they can get that's something wrong with them, not you. It's something wrong with them. That's all the fuck they want to see, negativity and stupid shit. So, and plus Andre Ward, look, he's a Christian and all that shit, but that shit don't mean soft because Andre Ward got an ego. He was talking a lot of shit to Chad Dawson at that weigh-in, and he was punking Chad Dawson. And I seen it at the weigh-in when Chad Dawson looked scared. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. He looked scared because it's certain little small things that I noticed. Chad Dawson, I saw him swallowing. You know, you can tell somebody. You see, they do that little. Yeah, he swallowed. He's like, you know. And then I saw when they did the double bicep pose. Andre Ward came right in front of him. You know, did his pose, and Chad Dawson, right? Ward, he got a quiet arrogance about him, a confidence about himself, and he should do what he do. I mean, look at Roy Jones. Roy Jones was one of the cockiest fighters in boxing history. Talked more shit than anybody, but he wasn't able to translate that into pay-per-view stardom. Right. Okay. You know, so who's to say that Andre Ward can't be himself, be a nice guy, and become a pay-per-view star? I think that if he gets with the right people promoting him, he continues to do what he do and dominate guys and don't put up a lot of boring fights. Man, he's gonna be he's gonna be a megastar, I think.
Me too, man. And you got to think he's only 28 years old, so we've got at least 4 or 5 years before we even start thinking like, he needs to hurry up or something. So he's gonna, man, have one hell of a career if things keep going this well, man.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of it is some young up and coming fighters, man, and I'm just hoping that somehow these fights could be made to where these young fighters and all these different sanctioning bodies get a clearer picture in each division. Like the blueprint has been set now through the super middleweight tournament, what happened up there, and we would just like to see all these little small disputes, people come to terms, because really, I honestly believe that if Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather really wanted to get the fight done, all they got to do is just be men and talk to each other and get the fight done. They don't have nothing to do with no one else. There's no more time for excuses. There's no more room for that shit.
Yeah.
Because you guys are grown men. One of them is supposed to be an important person in this country, okay? He's a politician.
Right.
Now, if you're a politician in your country, then you have to have confidence to make your own career decision. I mean, how could you have people being confident in you in your country if you can't make your own career decisions? You can't get on there anymore and say that I do what the promoters tell me to do. You're a megastar now. So you can't get on there anymore and use that excuse. You're a politician. You're supposed to make your own decisions. So at this point, it ain't about Bob Arum's decision. I see articles talking about Bob Arum will decide who he fights next. Like shit, Manny Pacquiao needs to decide who he fights next.
Right.
He's been at the top for a long time, don't you agree?
Absolutely.
At this time, he's been at the top for a long time, so why can't him and Mayweather sit down and talk it out? Fuck pay-per-view sales and all that shit for a second and just go 50-50, I say. Fuck it. Fuck it. If you really want to do the fight, just go fucking 50-50. Everyone be quiet and just fucking get the shit done. Because they still need each other for this mega fight to happen. Or do a clause with a 60-40 clause or something where the winner gets 60 if you're so confident.
Yeah.
Get the shit done. They could get together and get it done. Them too. They don't need all this other shit. That's just how I feel.
I agree, man.
Wanted to add that. That saves me from making a video about it. Shit.
Yeah, man. They need to definitely, if they're gonna fight. If not. But they just, I don't know why people even still fall for this shit. I've been seeing people making videos about Pacquiao and Mayweather. I'm like, man, them motherfuckers is not fighting, man. I stopped giving a shit about that fight a long time ago. And the one thing is this, like you said, I think if they really want to make this fight, okay, for their legacies, for the fans, I understand Mayweather's position with his money, because he is smart when it comes to his money. I think that the same way Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones Jr. were trying to negotiate the 60-40 thing, I think that's fair, man. 60 to the winner, 40 to the loser. I think that's fair. Like, if you listen, man, if I'm confident that I can whoop this, only way I can see them being some bullshit is if there's some kind of robbery. I think they should have a clause in case of any shady bullshit, the money gets split 50-50. Okay, if it's some robbery shit or any controversial stuff going on, some bullshit stoppage. But if it's a knockout or decision, 60 to the winner, 40 to the loser. But these guys won't do that, man, because they got losing on their mind. They got losing on their mind, and they're not willing to put themselves out there like that. Okay, you talking about over $200 million. And 40% of that is a lot of fucking money to the loser. Okay? So, I don't understand why they can't just make the fight, but I don't even give a shit about it no more.
So that's one of the things holding back the fight. One of the things is the money thing. The other thing is the test. Okay? So these are the two things that they're making. These are the excuses that they're using, Floyd and Manny. It has to do with a money issue, and then the test. Okay? So So it has to do with a money issue, and it has to do with the test, all right? So my opinion in regards to the fucking test is what I think that they should just go on ahead and do the regular shit. Fuck all the Bada, USADA and all that shit. Fuck all that. Just do what y'all always been doing. Y'all have fought plenty of fights under the way they've always done it. Floyd has, and so has Manny. If Floyd think Manny doping, then he better find him a good guy who could cover up on what he doing. You know what I'm saying? Just know how to get in that ring that night. Because both of them have already been. Floyd has fought many fights where he did not ask for somebody to do Olympic-style testing. See?
Right.
That's how I feel. So why not fight Manny the same way like you fought all them other people, unless you're a little scared? You know,
well, I think
you
a
fight
part
Manny
of
the same way like you did all them motherfuckers when you was coming up. You whooped their ass whether they was doping or not. You didn't give a fuck back then. You know, you did not give a fuck because you fought all your career without asking for USADA tests until Manny came. So right now, go ahead and fight one more like that. Why bitch about the test, man? Why bitch about the test? You did bitch about it before your whole fucking career. So go ahead and make sure that you're ready that night. Whatever you think Manny doing, make sure you do it. That's how I look at the whole thing with the test.
Well, I disagree with that part about that. I don't think he should fight Pacquiao if he really believes that he's cheating and Floyd is really clean. I don't think he should fight him because, you know, we wouldn't forgive as fans. We wouldn't forgive ourselves if we begged for that fight and he went out there and this motherfucker ended up like, you know, Joe McCollum some shit. But I do think Floyd Mayweather does have a certain fear of Manny Pacquiao. I mean, let's be honest, fear is good in fighting anyway. It keeps you on your toes and alert. But I think that he does have some fear. I hear it when he talks about Pacquiao. I'm being honest. Like, if you on the street,
I know what you're saying,
when you talking to somebody on the street and you hear how they talking about another person, you can tell when it's a little bit of fear there. Like whenever Floyd is talking about Pacquiao, he'll say something like, well, you know, I gotta worry about my health. I gotta worry about my family. And he was like, and he'll say shit like, you know, oh, now that I'm in my 30s, they want to throw this guy in here with me. I'm like, dude, you sound like you facing a fucking monster or something. Like, I mean, this is a little short, little Mr. Miyagi motherfucker. You finna fight Godzilla. So I think that there is an underlying little fear there from Floyd Mayweather, but that's not a diss. I think that a lot of fighters are fucking afraid of other fighters. Okay, you're afraid of losing what you got. Okay, you're afraid of what could possibly happen to you if this guy is cheating. That's understandable. Okay, but you know, whatever, man. This video getting extra long, but yeah, we was getting into a good conversation, but shit, we'll do another one, man. Chop it up on this, man.
That's what's up. All right.
All right.
Easy, man.
All right, 78 Fight News, Howard.